Did Germany just make a hidden tax increase and nobody knows about it? Just a couple of days ago, our German government decided to get rid of tax classes 3 and 5. That means that married couples will have only 2 options for tax classes going forward and not 3 anymore. Experts have mixed opinions about this change, to say the least. Some think this is a hidden tax increase for married couples living here in Germany. Others say this makes the German tax system a whole lot easier and a lot more fair for everyone living here. I wonder, who's right and what's true here? And if you are a married couple, what is the best option for you after this tax change? Let's find out together in this PerFinEx tax video. To make sure everybody knows what we're talking about and what changed exactly, Germany has 6 different tax classes, some of which you can choose and some are chosen for you by default. If you are not married, single, in a relationship, whatever, you are automatically in tax class 1 and there's no way to change that until you're married. If you are a single parent, you are automatically tax class 2. Again, no way to change that unless you are married, which we'll come to in a moment. If you have a second job or receive any additional income, a bonus for example, this will be taxed with tax class 6, even though your main source of income will be one of the other tax classes. And now it gets interesting with married couples, because they are the only ones that can choose the tax class they want to be in. If they have kind of the same income, it's best if both are tax class 4, which is basically the same as tax class 1. Let's say a couple is in a relationship with both being in tax class 1. There's no other choice anyway. And now they marry and both switch to tax class 4 because they have very similar incomes. Their payslips before marriage in tax class 1 and after marriage in tax class 4 will look extremely similar. Married couples get other tax benefits here in Germany, but if you would isolate only the tax class switch, it would be almost identical. Now let's say the couple has very different incomes, one spouse earning for example twice as much as the other. Then the higher earning spouse should choose tax class 3 and the lower earning spouse tax class 5. Why? Maybe I should have mentioned this in the beginning, what a tax class actually does. It determines your tax rate on a month-by-month basis. Let's make an example and say we have a couple that earns 100k taxable income combined. Earlier in the video we discussed that if both have the same or similar incomes, they should both choose tax class 4. If they do, both will pay a little over 7,000 euros taxes on their 50,000 gross salary. Now let's say there's an income difference between the two. That spouse 1 earns 80k and spouse 2 earns 20k. The high earning spouse should choose tax class 3, so he or she will pay a little over 10,000 euros taxes. An incredibly low tax rate for an income of 80,000 by the way. Compare that to someone in tax class 4 who will pay almost 17,000 euros in taxes with the same income. Why is that? Why is tax class 3 for the high earning spouse so much more beneficial than his other option, tax class 4? Let's take the official government tax calculator again that we also used in the video 2 weeks ago, in which we discussed the special expat tax rebate that the government is planning for 2025. So if you don't know what to do after watching this video, I'm sure you will love that you guys can save thousands and thousands of euros if this new law passes. Everyone here in Germany can earn 11,604 euro per year without paying any taxes, the so-called Grundfreibetrag. So for every one of us, the first 11,604 euro are completely tax-free, and everything we earn after that is taxed according to our progressive income tax system, with up to 42%. But if you are tax class 3, you cannot just earn 11,604 euro completely tax-free, you can earn twice as much, 23,208 euro completely tax-free, which also means that the progression kicks in much later than it does for any single person or a married spouse in tax class 4. And that's the reason why tax class 3 is so much more beneficial for the couple as a whole, because the high earning spouse can use the tax-free Grundfreibetrag from the low earning spouse. Now, of course, if the high earning spouse uses the Grundfreibetrag from the low earning spouse, he or she can not use it as well. But since he or she is earning less anyway, it's not as valuable as it is for the high earning spouse. And being taxed without Grundfreibetrag is being in tax class 5, which spouse 2 has to choose if spouse 1 is in tax class 3. And that's why the tax rate is here pretty high from a percentage point of view. But if you're good at math, you can see it already. There's an almost 1,500 euro difference between the two scenarios. So if you are married and you both are in tax class 4, but you have quite a big income discrepancy, you can easily increase your net payout by switching to tax class 3 and 5 before the government gets rid of them with the reform we'll talk about next. All you need to do to switch to 3 and 5 is to fill the Antrag auf Steuerklassenwechsel bei Ehegatten or Lebenspartnern from your local Finanzamt. You both sign it and you hand it in before November 30th and the switch will happen. And since the new tax reform is supposed to take effect in 2030, you can actually benefit another 6 years from the better tax class. Many couples with an income discrepancy chose tax classes 3 and 5 in the past because it helped them save taxes. Kind of, but not really. Let me explain. The right choice of tax class for your personal financial situation will help you save taxes on a month-by-month basis, but not on a year-by-year basis. Why not? Because it makes zero difference which tax class you choose as a couple. If 3 couples earn 100k combined taxable income, one couple is in tax class 3 and 5, the other in tax class 4 and 4, and the last couple in tax class 4 and 4 with factor, which we'll talk about in a moment, they will all pay the exact same amount of taxes. Yes, the 3 and 5 couple will have a higher net payout from their payslips, but we talked about this a million times already, that everyone's payslip is wrong. The classical example is if you start working here in Germany any given July. You earn 6 out of 12 months only. But guess what your payslip will do? Tax you as if you earned 12 out of 12 months. And it's not like your employer or your payroll department fucked up. That's just the way that it is. And we can look at the 3 and 5 tax class situation the exact same way. The couple will have a higher net income per month, but since they pay too little taxes from their payslips, they are first of all required to file their taxes, and of course they are more likely to owe Finanzamt taxes compared to a couple in tax class 4 and 4, which would not be required to file their taxes. The same way you are not required in tax class 1. And now you know why. Because tax classes 1 and 4 pay too much taxes from their payslips, the government is fine with you not filing your taxes and getting money back. But if you paid too little taxes in tax class 3 and 5, guess what? The government wants its money and makes filing your taxes mandatory. That's where tax-deductible expenses like the right type of pensions or real estate comes in handy, because it can prevent that you have to pay thousands of euros of taxes to Finanzamt. And if you want to discuss this and other ways to improve your financial future, feel free to book a free meeting with us on perfinex.de/meeting. Okay. If this tax reform goes through and tax classes 3 and 5 are no more in the year 2030, what are your options as a couple? If you have the same or similar income, nothing changes for you because you should be tax class 4 and 4 now and also in 2030 and beyond. But if your income is different, let's bring in our 80k, 20k couple again, the 4 and 4 tax class combination is the absolute worst. 3 and 5 is a lot better. That's what a couple should have right now at least. because they will pay almost 4,500 euros less taxes, month by month and not year over year. Remember that. But 3 and 5 is not going to be an option anymore. So, this couple should choose the 4 and 4 with factor tax class to pay less taxes. What's the difference between the 4 and 4 tax class with and without factor? In the factor tax class, both spouses will profit from the so-called Ehegattensplitting. Basically, married couple splitting translated to English. The Ehegattensplitting could be an entire video on its own. Let's just say that filing a joint tax declaration is for the vast majority of married couples a huge benefit compared to filing separate tax declarations. When filing together, Finanzamt combines both your incomes, cuts it in half, calculates the tax, and then doubles the tax. And because of our progressive income tax system, the taxes you higher the more you earn, 2 times the tax on 50k is less than 1 times the tax on 100k. And that's why the 4 and 4 factor tax class with the Ehegattensplitting will be the better option forward if you earn more or less than your spouse. What did we learn in this video? There's currently a huge buzz in the German media that tax classes 3 and 5 might go away in 2030. And most say that this is a hidden tax increase because you have less net from your gross salary in tax class 4 than you would in tax class 3. What I think most people that make this argument don't understand is that it makes zero difference which tax class you are. Everyone pays the exact same amount of taxes if they have the exact same income. And the major argument from critics that the government taxes you more to speculate that you don't file a tax declaration and ask for your money back, this doesn't hold either, because you are forced to file a tax declaration no matter if you are in tax class 3 and 5 or 4 and 4 with factor. If you've seen a couple of our videos, you know that I'm usually the first person to happily shit on the government if the opportunity presents itself. But for this one, I think we're going in the right direction. They say they made this reform to get rid of bureaucracy, which I believe and which I appreciate. You just have to file your taxes every year and you will be mighty fine. And if our friends at PerFinEx can help you with that, then feel free to book a free meeting with them with the card that you see here on screen. I thank you for watching and I see you in the next one.